Well, as you know, Iran's nuclear program made several appearances in last night's presidential debate. President Obama and Governor Romney had a few heated exchanges on that and the threat Iran poses to Israel and the wider Middle East. But which candidate made a better argument? And maybe more importantly, at least in political terms, was anybody paying attention? With us now, a consultant to the Obama campaign in 2008, John Holinko. John is now the president and CEO of the marketing firm Holinko Consulting and founder and CEO of the Republican polling firm National Research Incorporated, Adam Geller. Adam is also a former pollster for New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. And Adam, clearly Romney played defense last night, right? I mean, the snap polls all said that President Obama won this thing because he was more aggressive. So I'll give you a chance to kind of Tuesday morning quarterback for us. Do you still believe that Romney's strategy was effective?
I think Romney's strategy was completely effective. I don't think he was playing defense. I think he was playing offense. I think he set out to do something. And what he set out to do was be calm, cool, collected, look like a leader, give people permission to believe that this is a guy who could be president. He was up against a guy who was petty, petulant, angry, insulting, divisive, and he came off looking much better. The snap polls, I hate to tell you this, Trace, but the snap polls are really not worth anything. What we're going to see is when the polling that's being done now is processed and it takes a few days, by the beginning of next week, what we're going to see is the following. There's been no appreciable gain for President Obama, and Mitt Romney is still going to be in the lead.
You know what, Johnny, when he says snipey, he's talking about, the president in that comment that got a lot of play about the bayonets and horses, right? I mean, we played it earlier in the show, reminding Mitt Romney that planes land on aircraft carriers. I want you to listen to what Donald Rumsfeld said about that comment on America's Newsroom this morning. Listen.
The fact that the Navy is shrinking is an important, serious subject that merited a thoughtful, serious, important discussion. And all it got was a dismissive, arrogant answer from the president by someone who's never served in the military. I found it really disappointing.
Dismissive and arrogant, John, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to take any foreign policy or defense advice from Donald Rumsfeld, given the disaster that he led us into in Iraq. But no, I thought the president did extraordinarily well, and that's why the snap polls showed him winning. And he was right to make that point. I mean, Mitt Romney demonstrated an abominable lack of understanding of foreign policy. I mean, he talked about Russia being our #1 foe. I mean, who else? The Kaiser, the Tsar? Is he going to invade Narnia next? I mean, it shows such a lack of understanding of foreign policy. And when he talked again, and he's done this a few times, talked about Iran wanting Syria for access to the sea. I mean, we just talked about the Persian Gulf. Persia is Iran. I mean, they have access to the water, and there's a country in between Syria and Iran. It's called Iraq. You'd think Mitt Romney would know that.
Let me let Adam get in here to comment on that. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I think Romney was very, very clear in how he perceives the threats around the globe. I don't think he could have been more clear. I don't think it stops the president, and it doesn't stop some of his supporters from trying to fit a square peg into a round hole and make it sound like Mitt Romney is this caricature Republican warmonger guy, and clearly he's not. And again, that goes back to the strategy of what he was doing yesterday. Look, I'm going to vote for Mitt Romney. I would have loved for Romney to really been so aggressive against Obama, but that wasn't the strategy. He is appealing to the people who are still undecided, the nonpartisans, and he's looking calm, cool, collected, and not what the Democrats want him to be.
And let me give John Holinko the last 10 seconds. John, I got to go. Make it quick.
He may have been calm, but he was profoundly incompetent. Russia is our #1 foe. He's 20 years out of date.
Said, though, John. That's the only
#1 geopolitical foe. He said that multiple times. He said that. He has talked about Iran using Syria to get to the sea 5 times.
From a threat.
Our #1 foe. I'm not sure how else to interpret that.
It's far different from the threat of Al Qaeda.
Adam Geller, good debate, gentlemen. We'll hear more from this. Thank you both.